Hi, guys. Eric Pavy here at pickdogs.com for your overnight Wednesday report. And Al, you've already released on your Telegram channel some March Madness for April 5th. A lot of times it's not what you bet, it's when you bet, getting the best of the number. So, like I always tell people, one of the benefits of being an all access member is you get those plays early. And hopefully, if you purchase the game the day of on Saturday, obviously the line could be completely different. So, a lot of people always ask me, yes, guys, you get direct contact with Al directly where you can ask him questions about individual games. Plus, as always, you get late updates that aren't available at the site if they're posted after the cutoff time. And then you get early updates where you're getting games that are posted on April 1st for April 5th. So, with that being said, I will keep this video short and sweet. What do you got to say? What's happening?
Oh, well, let's look at the Miami Heat Boston Celtic game. One caveat here: Boston has a ton of guys on the overnight injury report. So, who the hell knows who's going to play? Who knows what the line's going to be? It's just one of those situations which is now commonplace in the NBA where you just never know. But here are some of the guys on Boston's list right now: Jaylen Brown, questionable with a knee injury. Um, Porzingis, questionable. Holiday, questionable. Horford now doubtful. So who knows who Boston's going to throw out there against Miami. But the line currently is Boston -11. We'll see where it lands
You know,
at game time.
So it's interesting because I've discussed this with my good friend Micah, who you know, and some of his betting syndicate partners, and they said really, really affects their NBA betting, this questionable, doubtful stuff on the screens. And I posed to them the question just because you put it out there. What's the difference between questionable and doubtful? They're synonyms. They're the
I mean, I
synonyms.
mean, I would say this: questionable is probably close to 50-50.
Okay.
Doubtful is more 10 or 20. It's not zero, but it's
Right.
down there, right? 10, 20%, if not 5%, right? I mean, who knows where it is in the range of out? Out is zero. So doubtful is in between 50% and zero. Who knows where it is? But I always assume it's in the lower end of things, like,
Now,
10%.
with your situational handicapping, and then we'll get to your complimentary selection, a lot of the guys that I deal with on the syndicate side, they assess a power rating and a certain amount of points per player. So they'll say, like, if XYZ player is out, I'm going to read the line is going to be up or down so many points where it's such a critical issue to them. Is that involved in what you do or not really?
No,
You
basically
know
what
what
they're
I'm
saying
saying.
is, if this guy's worth 2 points and he's
Right.
questionable, then they're going to take away 1 point because it's 50% of two is
Exactly.
one.
Exactly.
Um, what how it impacts me. For example, we had a play on the Memphis Grizzlies today.
Okay.
Memphis played yesterday, so they were not required to submit their injury report until 2 p.m. Eastern today, which means we would have found out about it at 2:30 p.m. Eastern because the injury reports are released at the bottom of every hour. So I held back on the Memphis Grizzlies because I wanted to see what the injury report was at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Which is
So it impacts me to the extent that when will I release a play? Am I releasing it at 6 in the morning or am I waiting? That's how it really does impact me. The other thing to understand now, that's for guys who are on the injury report. There's another issue. A lot of times you get these surprise injuries, right? Where out of the blue, at 5 p.m., 7, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., whenever, it says, oh, Duncan Robinson out with rest, and you had no inkling this was going to happen. So that's, I think, a bigger issue because you could never factor that into your handicapping at 5 a.m., 8 a.m. when it's one of those surprise deals. But those surprise deals are going to impact you for better 50% of the time and for worse 50% of the time. It's going to, half the time it's going to help you, half the time it's going to hurt you.
right.
So I don't really worry about that kind of stuff. And a lot of people complain, oh no, I got, now the line's +8 when I only took +4. Well, half the time you're going to be on the team that's benefiting from those kind of injuries, and it is what it is.
I agree.
So anyway, so let's go to the comp play. So as
Sure.
we just talked about, Boston has a long list of guys. Who knows where the line's going to be? I like Boston this game. Miami's coming off 5 straight wins and 7 straight covers. Their last win was a blowout win over the Washington Wizards. They won that ball game by a score of 120 to 94, so they won by 26 points. When you get a team in the NBA that's off 5 straight wins, and that most recent game was a win by more than 25 points, those red hot teams are now 28 and 59 with 3 pushes ATS. So we're going to fade Miami. We're going to take Boston minus the 11.
Boston minus the 11 it is, guys. If you want to reach out for the 7-day trial offer, you got the number right on the screen, or send me an email to eric@pickdogs.com. And as always, good day and good luck.